Well, hello, my dear viewers, my dear friends. Welcome today to a surprise video, even for myself. How can it be, you ask? Well, I was not intending on recording the video I'm recording right now, but after yesterday's chapter of Fairy Tail, and as you might have already read by the title, I was not, and I suppose a lot of you, and probably the majority, if not the totality of Fairy Tail's fanbase, we were not very pleased with Acnologia's end. I say end because if it keeps that way, then it's the last we've seen of the so-called King of Dragons. Now, after I recorded the chapter and after I compared Acnologia's situation with another situation I have already mentioned in Fairy Tail's videos a little bit as of late, I wondered to myself, what if Acnologia could come back? Now, before we go to move on and answer that same question, I want to bring some concepts clear, just so we are on the same page. I believe we all know them, but just for exposition's sake, let us go through them all little by little. So first, the thing that ended Acnologia, the ravines of time, or as they are known in the wiki, the space between time. Now, it is said that powers of nothing, even neither light or dark, can exist within it. But the space between time, or the ravines of time, seem to be themselves, a magic power source, even if it is a magic power source made of nothing. Keep that in mind. Now, to the big part of this theory, it is technically a theory, but to the big part of this theory and the part that I'm going to compare it later. Acnologia is known in the fairy tale world as the King of Dragons, a man who bathed in so much dragon blood that he himself became a dragon and thus became known as the Dragon King on the day of the Dragon King's festival, also known as Ragnarok in Arachitasia. I believe that's the name in Zarev's continent. You know, the one who appeared at the end of the story and from 20 chapters now will never be mentioned again. But it is known, the Dragon King Festival was known, has become known as the Ragnarok. Ragnarok being the end of the world. Now, it was not technically the end of the world, but it was the end of the world as it was known. Because up until the point of the Dragon King's Festival, being the pinnacle of the Dragon War, the world was semi-ruled by dragons and semi-ruled by humans. There was a coexistence, if only momentarily, between humans and dragons inhabit the land as much as humans did. But after the Dragon King Festival, nearly all dragons were brought to extinction. So that's the turning point that consisted on a Ragnarok, on a end of the world as it was known. And that end of the world was brought upon by none other than Acnologia. Now, at the beginning of the Alvarez arc, August asked Zarev if he knew already how to bring Ragnarok forth, to which Zarev responded that yes, indeed he knew, and that he should refer to Ragnarok as the Dragon King's Festival because in the continent of Fiore, the Ragnarok is known as the Dragon King's Festival. Now, where am I bringing this to? I am bringing this to Skyrim. Yes, I've said that I had mentioned this before, and I have to Skyrim. If you guys haven't played Skyrim and you care for story spoilers, just maybe drop out of this video already. It's nearly the 5-minute mark, but It's been good having you around, but if you care for spoilers and never have played Skyrim, please do not let me spoil you. If you by any chance choose to continue, stay welcome. So, in Skyrim, basically the story of Skyrim revolves around the returning of dragons. One such dragon, and the first to come back, is known as Alduin the World Eater. It is prophesied that Alduin will and is going to destroy the current world in order to probably and possibly create a new one. It is also said that before the creation of the Elder Scrolls lore current world was done by Alduin upon the destruction of the last world. But long story short, why has Alduin come back? In the early days of the world of the Elder Scrolls, I cannot precise exactly the time, but I believe it was it was the Meretic era. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not that well versed in the Elder Scrolls lore yet, but basically, dragons ruled the land. Dragons ruled Skyrim, all the provinces. But one day humans got sick of it. And such as some dragons wanted to have a peaceful coexistence, much like the dragons in fairy tale, others, under the guise of Alduin, didn't want for such a peaceful coexistence. And then, after a lot of fight between humans and dragons, much like the Dragon War, three Nord heroes were able to sort of defeat Alduin. They did not kill him because they did not have the power for it, but they were able to send him through time. They used something called an Elder Scrolls, which gives the name to the entire series, and in conjunction with a shout that they invented, I'm not going in with the shouts right now, but don't worry, it's something to do with the voice. If you don't know it and you're watching this, a shout is just a powerful voice blast. It's a set of three words that one can say, and have a set of three has different effects. There are different shouts. They managed to use one created entirely by humans on the dragon tongue to subdue Alduin, and thus using the Elder Scroll to send him through time. The problem, however, they did not banish him from time. Alduin was bound to leave the currents of time in any other point. And so he did at the fourth era of the Elder Scrolls timeline, and there he was to wreak havoc once again. He is eventually killed by the main protagonist of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, the Dragonborn, and yada yada yada. That's not the point here. The point is, can you already see the similarities between what I've told you about Alduin in Skyrim and Acnologia? Yes, I am comparing both concepts of the Elder Scrolls sending Alduin in the time loop, can we call it even that, the time space, and the fact that Acnologia was sent into the ravines of time. I think that much like Alduin was bound to reappear one day in some point, so is Acnologia. The difference is Acnologia doesn't have a lot longer to reappear because there's only 9 chapters left. So, Acnologia could be bound to reappear because what goes in must come out eventually. And if Acnologia has gone in the ravines of time, I am sure that he is bound to come out, if not in the nearby future, then years and years later, to fulfill his destiny or to be defeated, which I think it's the option that will happen. Now, going back to the first point, when I said that the ravines of time were a magic power source of nothingness, but nonetheless a magic power source. And which Dragon Slayer magic is Acnologia exactly? Has Acnologia exactly? Magic Dragon Slayer magic. He is able to absorb magic, basically. So, if he is able to absorb magic, what's to say he cannot use it? Much like Natsu was able to absorb Lax's the Lightning Dragon Slayer magic, and also the Zancro's God Slayer Fire magic, or Fire God Slayer magic. Yes, Fire God Slayer magic. Who's to say that Acnologia can't do the same? I'm not sure if we've seen him doing that against Jalal. I know he consumed the magic. Whether he was able to use it against Jalal or not, I do not actually remember. I should have checked that. But let us assume, for the sake of this video now, that he is able to absorb a magic and then use it. Who's to say that in these last moments, just before the ravine of time shuttered, he wasn't able to absorb it, still being drawn into it alongside Christina, Hannah, and Ichia. May his soul find peace. But who's to say that he didn't consume the magic and is able to somehow use it inside the ravines of time to get out? Because seriously, he must come back. Like, there are 9 chapters left. What are they going to do in the next 9 chapters? Sit around? Zeref is apparently more than defeated already, and don't even get me starting on Zeref. I don't really have any idea how Zeref can crawl out of that situation. For me, Zeref could just die in a corner. I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore about Zeref. But Acnologia, I really want Acnologia. We've been hearing about Acnologia ever since Gildarts appeared. Ever since he appeared, and we know everything. Ever since we found out that he lost his arm, a leg, and some of his internal organs to Acnologia, Acnologia has been that looming threat in the horizon, up until Teronjima, where he appeared, in fact, giving a lot of trouble for the Fairy Tail Guild. And now all of a sudden is pushed into the ravines of time by a broken ship? I mean, I didn't really enjoy that at all. I thought Fairy Tail couldn't get any, not worse, but far-fetched. Like, really. I never thought Hiro Mashima could have pulled that one off, but he did, and I hope he has some plan to bring at least Acnologia back. Like, maybe next chapter Zeref will be like, oh, Acnologia is gone. But wait, no, he's not gone, for he cannot be gone, for he's the bringer of, and Acnologia just appears out of nowhere. I'll take it. And then they can pull whatever friendship power they want out of their arses to defeat him. But yeah, maybe something even completely different from Dragon Slayer magic. Because remember what I said about Alduin. They didn't defeat him. The 3 Nord heroes didn't defeat him. They were able to subdue him. The only person who could defeat him was the Dragonborn. And even then, it's not clear that he's defeated because the Dragonborn was not able to absorb his soul. Because he is able to absorb the souls of dragons. But anyway, yes, the Dragonborn defeated Alduin, but there's no certainty that he's dead. He may still be back later to fulfill his prophecy of destroying the current world. Now, I'm not saying that Acnologia has some higher purpose to destroying the world of Fairy Tail. But you know, maybe with the defeat, maybe what he's trying to achieve with the defeat of Dragon Slayers is to ascertain his dominance over the world, because the other Dragon Slayers can eventually become dragons. Aileen herself went on to become a dragon. Who's to say that the other Dragon Slayers also can't, now that they don't have dragons? Well, Except Natsu, because Natsu apparently can just get rid of his seeds just like that. So maybe all of them just will go on about, oh, you know what? I don't want to become a dragon. Screw this shit. And they blow the seeds right out of them, and they lose their Dragon Slayer magic. And that's it. But this is it for this video. A surprise video for you, even as it was for myself. What do you think? Is it too far-fetched of an idea? Even more far-fetched than Hiro Mashima's solution for Acnologia and Zaref? Please do let me know in the comment section down below. I'm always eager to hear your guys' opinions, especially on these theory videos where I go out of my mind just to bring you guys these crazy ideas. Who would have thought putting Skyrim and Fairy Tail together to create one mass theory? Only me, I tell you, only in this channel. Maybe not, but I gotta sell my fish somehow. So, I'll see you guys, hopefully this time on Thursday for this week's One Piece video. Bye bye.